Good morning, good afternoon. And I just want to say a massive welcome to Emma.
Thank you so much for having me here. It is wonderful to be here.
Yay. So we have introduced our new artist in the spotlight. Emma is our second artist in the spotlight. So we are going to be following your story. We're going to be talking a lot about you. So I hope you're not shy.
Sometimes, but we'll see. Tend to play it by ear. That's how we go.
Let's give a bit of info about you. So
yeah, sure.
To start with, where did it begin?
Yeah, so I, as you know, I've got a bit of an accent, so I'm from New Zealand. I have been drawing literally, and it sounds a bit unrealistic, but it's very true, from the moment I learned how to put pen to paper. So like, I used to sort of draw like any sort of scenes that I'd pick out, like even if it's just, you know, people on the street at a crossing, lots of people, I'd just sit there and draw it with my, you know, and like, I mean, they weren't exactly like award-winning artworks or anything, but it was always sort of, I always sort of liked to draw the world as I saw it. So I think that was probably like early childhood. And then as I got older, my interest in fashion also stemmed with that. So I started to incorporate sort of, you know, obviously my work is very feminine. So that's sort of where I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen me draw men, but they're not, you know, they don't look that manly. So I think, we stick to feminine. That's kind of where my best work is. And so as I got older, got interested in fashion. I actually went to university to study fashion.
Yeah, wow.
But I didn't actually finish. So I found myself very limited as to what I could do and create. It's kind of, I mean, just introduction to fashion's very much by the book. So I didn't really, I think just probably wasn't at the best time in my life to really start going down that path. Maybe at an older age I probably could have done it. It's still something I'm considering doing even now. But so back
So then you left, you started, you didn't finish.
Yes.
From that you carried on with the drawing.
So I've always kept up with the drawing. I've always drawn, like I've copied a lot from, like not copied, but distilled a lot of fashion like designers of my favourite, like watch a lot of fashion shows and distill it into my own style. So that's something I've sort of done for a long time. And then from that I started to travel a lot. So this was in New Zealand where I was doing the fashion school, all that. So as I started traveling more, you know, my style picked up. So I've done a lot of work. Like I've lived in Sydney. I travelled around the States for a while. I mean, I ended up in London about 5.5 years ago. And I mean, like London, wow, it's a great place. Opportunities just coming out your ears. So it's just about getting out there and finding them, meeting people. Exactly. And I think we're getting there. So it's brilliant.
I mean, you're definitely getting there. So we met in Leek Street.
Yes.
Via another artist and a friend as well. And that was quite an amazing passing. But it was very quickly that we picked up, and then all of a sudden, before Christmas, you were here.
I was,
doing a live painting in our kind of pre-Christmas party. It was amazing. So we're going to show you a little piece of you actually creating that, but it's this style that's behind us here.
Here we are.
This is actually the piece that's behind us that you were creating on the night. How was that for you?
It was awesome. It was really good to create it, and it's a freestyle, so I hadn't actually planned anything. I just literally went for it and just drew what I felt at the time, you know, high-end fashion, all kinds of different textures, everything going on. It was wonderful. Met so many people. Just got to know a lot of people. That's what I thrive off, like human interaction. And it was just every 5 minutes I was speaking to someone different, and that's what I love, because I actually work full-time remotely from home. I do miss being around people, so that really
contact,
I don't want to say like out of my shell, but I was quite out of my shell that night. It felt great night, great entertainment. Everyone was
great, I think, for people to see you in action. You know, we follow artists, we love art. You know, there might be a piece that you see and go, oh, I really, really like that. But when you get to actually experience the artist creating it and see what they're all about, and actually be able to talk to them and just stand back and watch, it's quite a unique, lovely experience, isn't it?
Definitely. You know, I love, like, that's one of my favourite things to do is live art. Like, I live and breathe it. I love doing it. It's just, I don't know why, I feel completely confident. It's weird because I can be quite a shy, anxious, introverted person, but for some reason live art just has me on my, just all senses are enlightened. So it's brilliant.
So the other thing I want to mention is you wonderfully have become one of our sentiment artists as well. And in fact, this is going to be your sentiment piece. So that was, while Emma was creating this on the night, we were very much aware that this was going to turn into your sentiment piece. So this is going to be divided. into the iconic jigsaw shapes, which will then be mounted onto 24 karat gold leaf and framed in these beautiful 12 centimetre square box frames. So we will be showing that, obviously. How do you feel about your creation being divided up?
No, I love it. I think because there's so much going on, like no two pieces of this are the same. It's not, I think like divided up, it will look very great. I think, I don't know what to say.
It's unique, you know. I think when we've approached artists in the past and said we're going to divide your artwork up, I don't think anybody was scared of it, but there was that initial feeling of, oh my God, you know, when you've created something, you've spent that time and energy and passion putting it into it, and then all of a sudden...
Some people get a bit like, oh, you're cutting up my artwork, but I think for me it's good to see it in a whole other, medium, I think.
Has that ever happened to you before?
No, nothing like it, no. And I've got to be honest, at first when you said it to me, I was like, but now we know what's going to happen, and I think, again, with everything that's going on in here, I can't wait to see it. I think we're onto something good here,
So tell me about the exciting stuff that's going on for you at the moment as well, because there is a lot, isn't there?
There's a lot going on. So at the moment I am working on an NFT collection. So I've been an NFT artist now for almost a year, and the market has kind of gone up and down, up and down. I did kind of dip off a bit towards the end of last year. Prior to that, I actually sold quite a few pieces, more like one-of-one pieces.
Yeah.
So I don't have a big collection of hundreds of pieces. It's just each collection's a 3-piece collection. So that was doing quite well.
How did you get into the NFT thing?
So I actually heard about it through a friend of my partner's who lives in the Middle East. So he's actually quite a big time collector.
Right.
Did not know this about him, but the guy's got everything you can think of. I don't know if you know a lot about NFTs. He's got Bored Apes, all the ones that are the big dog ones. So he saw some of my artwork and was like, you should get into this. So we just had a call one day, he briefed me on it, and I just started working on a small collection. Wow. I think initially you call it minting, it's kind of uploading your piece to a marketplace. Yeah. So I actually did mint a few pieces I'd already actually done, not specifically NFTs, so it was more scans of big pieces, and a few of those sold, but I've had more luck, to be honest, with digitally drawn pieces on an iPad or tablet.
Because it kind of lends itself more to the digital, do you think?
Definitely, So currently at the moment I'm working on a collection which is 100 pieces, and it's taken a bloody long time. I started it in June last year, and I've probably done about 40 out of 100 pieces. So every single piece is drawn individually, and it's all female, one woman, kind of dressed like this, very, very detailed, very coloured. Every piece is a different colour scheme, and no two pieces are the same. The purpose of it is that what I want behind it, I guess the sentiment or the whole sort of idea behind it is that women should be able to dress however they feel. There should be no limits and no obstacles to what they want to wear. So they should be able to put their best foot forward, wearing what they want, bright, bold, let's go. So what I want to achieve with the 100-piece collection as well is, so every collector, every holder will get a NFT, but they'll also get a physical piece. So what I'm trying to do is it's going to be 100 big pieces in frames. So any buyer will get both, full ownership of both pieces. Each and every piece on its own has its own story. And you can choose, with NFTs, sometimes it's a lucky dip as to what you get, but I'm giving every single future possible collector the choice to choose the piece that resonates the best with them.
Wow, okay. Because that's unusual, isn't it, to have a physical piece?
It is.
Kind of goes against, not against it, but on a different line to what the NFT is.
Because I want it, it's going to be initially an NFT collection, but I think I want to sort of sell it more as a collection. So it's just a collection, a big series, and then see, pick it up from there. But I think NFT is an option, part of the package really. But it's not, it's more of a collectors.
You were talking to me about a charity that you've been doing work with. Fill us in a little bit about that.
Oh well, so with the collection, there's a charity, it's UK based, called SmartWorks, and they help coaching and styling women to get back into employment. So various women, all backgrounds, can be unemployed for various reasons, right? So this charity aims to get them, feeling confident, feeling like they can boss it and sass their interview and look freaking amazing.
So it is all about that? It's about the style of them?
Yeah, it is.
Wow, okay.
So they style them as well. They literally have in-house coaches and in-house stylists, and it's brilliant. It's such a great charity. So a quarter of my anything I make from the collection, a quarter of it will be donated directly to them.
Amazing.
Because I feel quite strongly about that.
And how did you hear about them? Randomly?
Yeah, kind of randomly. Yeah, I guess. So I'm from. Yeah, when I lived in Sydney, there was a similar charity there. Right. So like, I actually wanted to volunteer. I never did it, but it's always something that's been on the back of my mind. So I'm going to look into it. I think just when I've got a bit more time, because it is hard to balance. I'm going to say that as well. Being an artist with a full-time job, because I work in gaming as well, and I'm very. I'm in a managerial role in one of the biggest gaming industries. So it's pretty. I mean, I'm very new to it. I actually don't have a lot of experience in gaming. I've only been doing it for 2 months, but just finding a balance has been quite a lot. But we're getting there.
But you must have found that you were good at it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. It's more about working with people just to align like external clients with the business as well. So it's a lot of like producers, developers on big games. It's just making sure that we're all aligned. Right. Yeah, our company does a lot of like languages.
It's big business though, isn't it? The whole gaming thing. Yeah. Massive.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, there's a lot. But yeah.
So the next thing for you, you've got a trip coming up.
I do. Yes. So yes,
I
do. Yeah. So in April, I am off to New York. I had one of my art pieces was selected for NFT New York, and it's actually, if you don't mind me saying, it's this lovely piece behind us. So this is the second one in from the wall there. That is the physical piece for that. So that's physically drawn. So the NFT, there's a very high chance that it's going to be shown on a billboard in Times Square. So obviously, have to go, be there, capture it, be in the moment, living my best life.
Awful.
Congratulations. So yeah, that's so far the best thing that's happened this year.
That's amazing. Yeah. Apart from meeting us.
But yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everything that's going on.
And having your artwork chopped up into small pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is kind of an NFT thing anyway, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
So it's all
could
related.
be.
Yeah. So from here moving forward, what's the next step for you apart from going to New York and obviously?
So I think my biggest next step is so I've obviously said the NFT collection. That is one, but I think that's the next step.
But that's ongoing as well.
That's ongoing, and I think obviously with my style, I want to experiment with new things. So I'm thinking I want to very much experiment a lot more with colour, but not digitally drawn. So more painting. Yeah. So like big canvases that are colour, and also incorporating texture into the canvases. So
that was a question I was going to ask you. Yes. When you were talking about before, when you used to always draw, and from a very early age, that style kind of stayed, didn't it?
Yes.
So it was always about the pen.
Yep.
So you didn't go into the painting or the...
Never.
Interesting.
I've never really experimented with anything other than just, line work with pens. So that's my next step. It's like adding kind of texture. Like I'm thinking, like imagine how cool this would be if it had like actual sequins like stuck onto it with colour. I think you need one highlights the other. Maybe some actual like feathers and like, glitter and just we're gonna experiment.
Really
it's gonna be a wild ride, but we're gonna see where we get. But it's worth trying,
Yeah, it lends itself to it, doesn't it?
It's just people can sort of connect a bit more with the textures and just it's
makes it a bit more 3D, pops out at you.
Exactly.
So the next thing for us will be creating your piece.
Yes.
As I lose my voice, which we're going to show as well. But over the next week, we are going to be talking all about you. So we will be showing some of these pieces. So the pieces that you're talking about, the one that's going to New York, we will be showing that as well. So people can really understand who Emma LINEHAM is.
Yeah.
So thank you for being our artist in the spotlight this week.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And obviously you're going to be part of our collection anyway, so you're always going to be part of the family here. So welcome.
Thank you. I feel very welcome. Thank you so much.
And you can go onto the website, www.bickertongracegallery.com, and you can see Emma's page on the website, so you can get a little bit of background about her there as well, and that will be updated as more things happen, so we can put that on your page so people can see where you're going.
Brilliant.
And obviously connect to your sites, social media, the whole shebang, which we're drowning in. So thank you for coming today.
Absolute pleasure.
And for finishing your piece.
It's been wonderful. Thank you.
I'm very excited to finish creating that for you.
Thank you.
Speak soon. Take care.
Thank you.